For an expensive fabric,
Drew was talking on the set, and he did a wild
I had
arm
it too
swing,
close. I had
and
it right here.
hit her open coffee mug. You may have seen it on the show. Good morning, everyone on Facebook.
Hello.
Welcome to Sunrise Extra. Come on in here in the studio. Join us. We're just talking with our Instagram friends. Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Are you going to tell them about the coffee spill too, Nina? Or is that an Instagram extra?
No.
We'll post it to Facebook
You feel
later.
bad, and then
Well,
he gets mad about bringing it up.
It was
But
not a
she should
wild.
be the
I'm
one
just saying it
that's
wasn't a
mad.
wild arm swing that led to the coffee.
No,
being knocked
the
over. It
coffee
kind
was
of a
like
general,
right
Hey,
here.
boom,
Drew
boom.
spilled coffee all over
And I had it
Ashley
open.
on
That was
TV
my
this
bad.
morning,
Yeah.
if you guys missed it. Okay, we're going to be talking about Blazers for a little bit, but something fun. So the game is obviously tonight. What kind of game day superstitions do you guys have? Do you, like Tim Gordon, our reporter
Right.
out there at the Moda Center, was wearing his same red pants
Yes.
that he always wears.
I
And
feel
Mike
like that
Benner
was-
has like the same pair.
I felt like it was a made-for-TV move. Do you think Tim really does it on game days? Do you think he really
Yeah.
puts the same pants on? Okay, maybe
Well,
our
just
viewers
pants.
have that.
Do you guys have any
I have
superstitions?
Well, not this goes like way back to middle school volleyball. Did
Yeah.
you play like middle
Sports,
school
yeah,
sports, whatever?
basketball.
My sports career really didn't take off after that. But this was the weirdest thing. So I went to this really tiny town school
In
Montana, and so there's like 25 kids in my class, and so basically everyone's on the sports teams because you don't have enough people.
Right.
There are no tryouts.
So no, there are not. That's how I got on the teams. So we would go like take road trips, and whenever we'd be on the bus, like all the girls, we'd get those. Do you remember chicken in a biscuit
The
crackers?
crackers, yeah.
And then
we still have those.
And then
Chicken in a
spray
biscuit.
cheese out of the can.
You guys must have been really productive on the on the
No,
playing field.
we would
Salty.
do that we would each eat some of those
You'd
before
spray the
games.
cheese out of the
How
top
gross
and
is
in.
that?
That's terrible.
Sounds
That's
actually really good.
Who was your
disgusting.
coach?
I don't remember.
Girls, do whatever you want.
But we would have those on the bus trips. I don't know if it was that was kind of our thing.
Then
That
you
was
kind
our-
of, start doing
You didn't
it
eat a
every
ton
time.
of them because you'd have to go do workouts, but that was like our tradition, our superstition. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's stupid.
Drew, you're a huge
Well,
Philadelphia sports
right,
fan.
as
You've
a
gotta
fan,
have
I
some
never
kind
thought
of
that-
weird thing that you do.
No, I always thought it was weird that a fan would think that anything that they did would impact the game. Like I will say, for
Right.
example, growing up, big Sixers house. I grew up in
Yeah.
a big Sixers house. Did I say
Are you
that
guys more
twice?
basketball than football?
My mom was into the Sixers.
Okay.
So that was the only thing. Like I would watch it all, but for
Yeah.
some reason she liked watching the Sixers. She was a big Dr. J fan, and then
Yeah,
Charles
yeah.
Barkley. Anyways, she would, if they were like losing, she would leave and say, "Oh, I don't want to watch. They never play well when I watch." And I go, "Yo, mom, do you think you
I
have
do
that
that
much
too,
influence
yeah.
over
Yeah.
the world that whether you watch the TV set tonight is going to actually impact how
I
this
did
game plays
that
out?"
on Sunday, on Mother's Day.
Did you?
I was out in the
You're like, I
backyard
can't.
planting plants, and every time I came in, we would start doing bad. And I was like, I'm just going to leave because just
That's
yell
funny.
at me,
I've done that
if we
too.
start doing better. And
Well,
then
you
I
didn't
came
think
back
that
in.
you were actually influencing the outcome,
Of course
did you?
not, but
I think my
I
mom
don't
did.
know. Then you kind of do start thinking that.
It's one thing to just turn it over. You know what? I'm not watching this
Yeah.
crap. I'll
Yeah,
come
yeah.
back to see if it turns out
But
better
to think
later.
it has
How
an
the world
effect.
works, right?
Are people weighing in with any? I'm going to open this up.
Yeah, like
Carlotta
maybe-
just likes both of us in green, so thank you for weighing in on that. I asked this question on Instagram. Let's get another social media device going here. Let me
I know. I
sign
always
into
forget
my
to
I know,
pull
how
my
many more?
Facebook page up. I apologize because we had a viewer last week. She kind of called us out for you're always looking at your phone when the other person's talking.
Oh, well, this is how we can interact with you guys. So
Yes.
it's-
Yeah, we're
not
reading your
ignoring you. We're
comments.
trying to interact with you. Okay, Camera J, show this. I posted this on Instagram. What are your...
Can't really see it.
You can't really see it. Okay.
That's better.
My husband wears a bow tie for every game.
Oh, that's cute.
Ad Fenter, hi Addison. He has to wear the Blazers gear and sit up, not lay down.
That is
does that
funny.
mean?
Okay,
Ad?
that's good.
Does that mean when you watch the game or like the night before when you go to sleep? You can't lay down.
That is too funny.
That's hilarious. Jeff says his superstition is to watch KGW at sunrise.
That's a heck of a
That's
superstition.
Wow,
Keep that
you need to
going.
get a life
I
because
know.
that's not much of excitement.
Jeff loves watching us every morning on the
it's
show.
just
Did you
kidding,
see this
Jeff.
viewer we have, Casey Rogers on Facebook? Good morning, everyone. I have news about my lost checkbook.
Was that was when you talked about the wedding ring, when you lost your wedding ring, remember?
Jeez, my
Remember that
long
day?
show?
Yeah, the worst thing you've forgotten.
And
us,
he
what
had
is
like
it?
lost. What else did Casey lose? Checkbook and
Credit cards.
keys,
He
credit
hid
cards
somewhere.
He hid them. Okay,
right,
Casey, give us the update. Yeah.
Casey.
Got it. Thank you. I'm
Okay,
sorry,
so
Casey,
game
I
day
forgot.
superstitions, write in if you have those. Our second question, kind of the formal one that I actually posted was, There's been a thing going around on Twitter of like list your five jobs that you've ever had.
Okay.
But we thought it'd be more fun to ask like, what's your most memorable job? I.e., the worst, the dirtiest,
The worst.
like, or the best, you know,
Right.
or.
Did you even have 5 jobs? Did you have 5 jobs in your life? Like, could you think of 5 things you've done,
Probably not.
including TV? You have had 5 jobs. Can you rattle them off real quick?
Yeah, I worked at my mom's like boutique and coffee shop. Well, in like high school,
Yes.
middle school. Then I worked at a kitchen like
Accessory
housewares,
shop?
kitchen accessory
Okay.
shop.
Retail.
I worked at the Buckle selling
The
those
Buckle!
Lucky Brand jeans.
Yeah.
I
know
worked
what the
at a
Buckle
college
is.
radio
It's like a
station.
teen store.
It's like a clothing store.
Okay.
College radio station, and then I worked at the Press Box restaurant. I worked at Applebee's as a server. I mean, I had
So
I
yeah,
had lots
you've
of
hit the
jobs.
mark. You've had at least 5
That
different
was
jobs.
just up until college.
My first gig was a paperboy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Daily News. I was terrible at it. I think I told you one
Yeah,
day on the
Denise.
air that I had to just deliver to my neighborhood. I had about a 40 paper route, and there was a guy directly across the street
Were you
from
on
us.
your bike?
No, I was walking.
Oh, okay.
I was not coordinated enough to ride and
Yeah.
throw the papers.
Yeah.
So I was a short. I mean, the houses were all bunched together. Anyway, the guy across the street, it was a Saturday morning, and I totally slept in. The paper stacks are in front of our house. Like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning now.
So you were bad at this.
And this guy across the street yells at my sister, who had like auburn hair, not even really red, but he goes, "Hey, Red, is your brother going to deliver the papers today?" That was the last
That was
week I
it.
had the,
You were
I had
done.
the route.
You
Yeah,
were
Did you get
so-
fired or did you quit?
yeah, they let me
They
go.
let you go.
They let me go.
Oh my
They let me
god.
go. I
that's
actually worked
hilarious.
at a home for. This is going to generate some viewer comments, I'm
What?
sure. I worked at a home for retired priests outside of Philadelphia, where basically
What'd
they
you
gave
do?
this job to like 14 and 15-year-olds. I sat in the office. There was no interaction with like the people living there. I sat in the office and answered phones and let visitors in through the gate. They put a 15-year-old in charge of this. And at night, I had to lock all the doors of the building, and then I went home at 10 o'clock at night.
What?
So 10 o'clock at night, 15, I was like locking up the building.
It's a bizarre
Were you
job,
guys like pretty
random.
Catholic Philadelphia family?
Yeah, and I
Oh,
got
that's
fired
funny.
from that job too because I
Why?
fell asleep. The night nurse came in, and she couldn't get in the front door because I wasn't answering the front door. She finally got her way
asleep in
in,
the chair.
comes into the office, and there I am. They had a recliner there for us, and I used it to its fullest extent. I'm 15,
that
I'm going to
lever
school,
back.
I was
Well, yeah,
tired.
you're
Yeah.
15.
You guys do
10
your
o'clock
homework
at
and
night.
everything.
I get it. Oh.
fired me.
So worst jobs, though, is that what we're talking about?
Just kind of memorable. Like if you had a weird job or you really liked your job. Folks weighing in on Facebook. Hi guys.
Can I tell you about Allison's job?
Yeah, read it.
Allison says, "Hey guys," smiley face. "I worked for USDA as an egg inspector. I loved it." And she says she misses it tons, but you know, hashtag motherhood.
Yep.
So she had to stop the job, I guess, because the kids came along. But egg inspector, I will ask you, Allison, a follow-up
Interesting.
question. What was the perfect egg? Give me the size and the shape.
This size and
What was she
shape.
inspecting them for?
Elisa says she worked as a kennel tech. Is that like a dog kennels?
Oh, probably.
And most memorable job being a mom. Shireen worked at a video store in high school. That was fun. I bet video stores back in the day were so fun.
Oh, that was like the place to
Yeah,
be.
it's like the
Blockbuster.
coolest, you know, you get to see everybody come in.
Do you guys have a Hastings? Or was that just a thing in Montana?
No. What,
Oh,
Hastings, where
Hastings,
you-
was, yeah. You did, Jess, producer Jess. Jess, Hastings, like bookstore, movies, and then there's a little coffee shop. That was
Yeah.
the hangout. You cruise down 10th Avenue South and you pull into Hastings.
Where's this at? Montana?
In Great Falls.
Great Falls,
Yeah.
Montana. My most memorable job was working at the Oregonian. I worked as a copy aide in the summers in college. And that meant you answered the newsroom phones, you sorted mail. So I would walk this was when the Oregonian was, just recently in like the 6-story building on Broadway.
Yep.
Yep.
I thought it was so cool to be like working downtown with people, get dressed up.
Oh, yeah, I bet that was
And
awesome.
then they let me write obituaries to practice, because I was
Okay,
a
that's a
journalism
job.
student.
Yep.
And so they were like, okay, here's some writing experience. They also let me drive one of the little Oregonian Jeeps over to the Rose Garden and pick up rolls of film at halftime at the end of the game so we could take them back to the newsroom so they could start looking at them.
Putting the pictures
to
down for the
edit,
next
yeah,
day.
for the paper. And then when the printing press was up here by Providence Park, I'd have to, at night, if I worked a night shift, drive up and get the first stack of papers off of the press to bring back to the newsroom so that reporters could see their articles.
Okay. Oh,
it was
that's
so much
cool.
fun.
That's an
And
awesome
I don't
job.
even know if they have that position anymore. I'm sure not. But it was just cool to be in like a working newsroom and see how reporters, worked and all that kind of stuff. So
That's awesome.
Allison
Yeah.
followed up. She did answer about the eggs. She says she looked for no cracks, no blemishes, no bumps. They wanted that perfect egg.
Perfect egg. There it is.
It should be flawless and good yolk and all that good stuff. Thank you, Allison, for chiming
good
in.
yolk.
Can I share my memorable work story?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because this is a message to any men who like to patronize, sports bars and have a little too much to drink.
Okay.
I'm going to scold these men. And here's what happened. When I was in college, I was working at the Press Box in Missoula as a server, and that's the place to go to watch Grizz football. And everybody comes over during halftime because it's like right by the university. And so everybody's drunk in the sports bar, which you make a ton of
Everybody?
money.
That's a blanket statement.
A lot of people.
Most.
But you make a ton of money as like a college server because people who have too much to drink tipping you this and that, and it's awesome. So if you can get a job there, you can pay your tuition, which is how I paid for school. However, some guys who were there drink too much and I don't know, they would get a little handsy. And so they would kind of harass the female workers. And one guy, I had a huge tray full of drinks, and he proceeded to
touched you.
touch me, basically. And I turned around and I spilled the tray of drinks on purpose. Beers all over him because I had enough with him.
Right.
He was like catcalling all the servers, and I just turned around and spilled probably 15 drinks. It was a huge tray. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, and then played stupid.
What was his reaction to that? Don't worry about it?
He was so mad. No,
Oh.
he was so drunk, and then the bouncers took him out.
Oh, good. You
Anyways,
didn't
What was
get
the place
in trouble
called?
or anything.
the press box.
Now, what was the attire for the servers at the press box?
Just jeans and
Okay.
like t-shirts.
All right, I
I guess
didn't know
nothing.
if it was a knockoff of something.
Oh no, we didn't have you mean like sports related?
Yes.
Well, I mean the business.
referees' outfits or
no,
something.
No, just like
I know,
jeans
I'm like,
and stuff.
where are you going?
Where are you going with that? Nope. But anyways, that's
Referees'
that's my
outfits.
memorable work
That's where I'm
story.
going with it.
And I kept my job.
Well,
so.
that's pretty cool. I bet you the boss was probably happy. 'Cause
He
that-
was.
that-
That's
don't
gotta
like
make you
those.
feel so good. I want to do that sometime. You know what I've always wanted to do, like in the movies? It's like if somebody says something bad to you, like a guy,
Yeah.
just have like
And
a
just
good
slap
slap
him
across
just
the
right in the face.
I have wanted
Me
to
too,
do
kind of.
that for so long.
You stepped into quite a conversation.
This is a violent show.
Well, they deserve
This
it.
is
We're
really the
sorry.
Rod Hill topic. I mean,
Okay,
if you're gonna
Rod.
talk about
This
jobs.
is Rod's.
Rod is your man.
Oh yeah.
Many jobs.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I know.
God,
Oh,
you've had
let's
so
not
many.
go down this
But
rabbit hole.
okay, the first thing that came to your mind when I asked this question this morning, I said, "This is what we're going to be talking about on Sunrise Extra."
And the question is
What is your most memorable job?
memorable.
Like weirdest or worst? You already said something.
because it
and I
was
want you
odd.
to
It was
repeat
this was actually a work. They called it a work study program. The University of Missouri. I'm assuming colleges and universities still do this. They give you part-time jobs on campus doing various things, and you earn money just like a part-time job. So and you just put in your name, then they kind of give you whatever you get assigned to. So I end up washing basically the jocks of the University of Missouri football.
straps.
Football.
You were
team.
watching the
you
job.
I'm the guy standing there after these big
The
sweaty
jock
guys come in
straps.
from practice, and then they literally would just throw their, you know what, and I'm sitting there catching these things, and then
he wins.
I had to wash them and
Can I reenact
dry
the
'em.
scene?
So
This is
bad.
get him ready to go.
Let's go back. 30 years old. This is the jock strap.
Yeah.
Picture
Here
it.
comes the
Oh,
guy.
my
This is the big offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks, Hill.
Yeah. Thank
Right
you.
in his face.
That's pretty much the way it went. That's actually exactly the way it went. Yeah. Exactly
That's
the way it
funny.
went.
How long did you do
I
that
love
for?
it.
That was just a semester.
Any techniques you had to use, or just soap and
Nah,
water?
just to grab those bad boys and put them
Throw
in
them in the wash.
the industrial size,
Did you
Was
use
that like the
tongs?
gross-
wash
Grossest job?
machine. No, we didn't use tongs. Just,
Tongs.
I did get I got football tickets though. That was part of
That's
that
worth
job.
it.
There you go.
That's worth it.
No, it was University of Missouri. We weren't
You
really
give up
good.
your dignity for some football tickets.
But you had so many interesting
But I mean, the
jobs.
most, if I'd say interesting, just because it was really unique and it offered a chance to see the world, as they say. And that's when I was a flight attendant for Trans World Airlines. A lot of people probably remember TWA since American has bought them out. But this is back in kind of the last, I'm going to say, glory years of flying, where it was before 9/11, so there wasn't all the heightened security. This was back in the 80s. TWA was by far the dominant American carrier at their time across the Atlantic Ocean. So literally, the old deal, see the world, work, and
Your
it's
jockstrap
fascinating.
story was funnier.
I used to fly TWA. I feel like it was TWA.
We're big on the East Coast
From
out of,
Philadelphia to
yeah.
Portland when I first got here.
Yeah.
Always stopping in St. Louis. Was that a hub? St. Louis was a big TWA hub?
It was, yeah. Now, I will say, when I worked at an Inca Johnson shoe store It is true. People really do come in with smelly feet to buy shoes. So wash your feet before you
Yes,
go to the
gross.
shoe
Wash
store.
your
for
feet.
crying out loud.
Shopping.
So the shoe job was more disgusting in your mind
was
than the jock job.
Dirty jock straps.
Well, you expect that to be bad, but you don't really expect the amount of people to come in with dirty feet.
I mean, they're throwing them at your face, and you're worried about the
Yeah, but then
feet stinking. Okay. Let's
Hey,
read. Oh wait, go back
Hey,
to
Rod, what
Facebook
number
real
is
quick.
what number is
Producer
Billy
Jess.
Job Thornton? No, I don't know, but I'll tell you his jockstrap size.
Oh my God.
And you had to go there. Billy
Okay,
Bob Thornton.
Regina was weighing in on Facebook. She says, my last teaching job was as a Title I reading specialist. It was part-time, working with individual students and small groups in a K through 6. The best part of teaching, and I loved my students. Barb weighing in. She says she was a Title I aide many years ago and loved it too. Kelly, my first job was when I was 15. I had a couple people tell me that working in the library was the best job, flipping through all the interesting books I was supposed to be putting away. It was an old building in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I had the perfect library vibe. Mary says her most interesting job was the admissions clerk in the ER of a county hospital. It was amazing what folks do sometimes. You have to figure out how they and why they did what they did. I could write a book. I bet so many people that work in like hospitals,
Anything with I
ER.
bet
Yes.
you amazing stories you see. Yeah. Wow.
This is a pretty good one. Did you mention Margaret yet on Facebook?
I don't think so.
Margaret Leonard, viewer Margaret, said she was a summer camp counselor for 4 summers in a row. Owned that
that'd be
job.
fun.
She said there was a lot of mosquitoes and a lot of bedwetting for my kiddos. But I was in the best shape of my
Oh, that's
life. She said
awesome.
we hiked everywhere during those summers.
Oh, yeah.
so
Thank you,
cool.
Margaret Leonard.
Summer
times.
camp counselor, that would be really fun. Julia Flavin, wine distributor. She got
Oh,
samples of wine.
that's a dream
Oh,
job.
that's good.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I know. So,
Oh, cool.
all right. Well, go Blazers.
Yeah,
Do you have
tonight.
any superstitions, like game day superstitions, or
Because you watch
anything like that, Rod?
some of your Missouri teams, you watch
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
religiously. Do you do anything special on game days to not screw
Well,
up
I
the
mean,
mojo?
the only thing, like a lot of people, if I'm watching and my team just happens to have a great game, I'll kind of remember what I was wearing at that moment, and then I'll wear the
And try
same
to
thing
repeat it?
until it goes
Right.
foul. So with the University of Missouri, you typically get to wear the same thing maybe once in a row, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I do have this thing with my own kids now playing. Like I always feel like they have to have the ultimate breakfast before they go and play the game.
Okay.
Well, that's
like
good,
I'm like,
though.
but no, I know it's good. It sounds good, but my wife says sometimes, hey, it's not worth it if we're like killing it for time. If they have an early game, like
yeah.
8 o'clock, but it's got to have the eggs, the bacon, the toast.
Yeah.
So one day we just didn't have time. She stopped and got a McDonald's
Oh, no. And then they.
bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
How did they do?
Fantastic. It
Oh.
was soccer season, and like literally one of my sons scored 4 goals that day. And the parents were
Wow.
saying, of course, they're like, "Well, what did you feed him this morning?" I'm like, "Yeah, today's the morning we
Well,
fed him McDonald's."
Not my
No,
girl.
I think McDonald's is one of our sponsors, though.
McDonald's breakfast.
Good way to start
will be
your day.
now.
I'm feeling it. All that.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I'm loving it.
Thank you.
I'm eating
You know what
it.
we should
He
do?
doesn't even know that. I'm loving it.
Our former colleague, Reggie Akey.
Yes, in San Francisco.
Now the Sunrise anchor at KGO in San Francisco.
Oh.
He works with a former colleague of mine from Sacramento who issued me a video challenge this morning saying that the Blazers just, suck. Portland's good for a lot
What?
of things. Yeah, he said Portland's good for food, all kinds of weird stuff. There he is, Ron Lopez. He's the assignment manager down
Who's
at
this
KGO.
guy?
He says the Blazers are going to lose against the Warriors. So I said we should do a little
Wager?
TV station challenge
what's he
with
basing
Reggie
this on?
Akey in the morning. What do you guys think?
I'm down with that
Yeah.
idea. I'd like to do it. I mean, I wish we were already doing it because game 1 is tonight. To me,
Let's
it
do
was-
it. What
we
should
can
we
set
do?
it- we can set
I
this-
mean, we can do whatever we want, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Reggie's in.
the easy thing for us is
I'm
we're
just
from
telling you right
Portland,
now, I'm gonna mail something.
craft beer city, so we can
And if
always
you were in
put some
California,
Portland craft beer on the
You'd be a
line.
Warriors.
Yes.
Against I don't know what's something that San
We can give
Francisco
them
could
that.
offer.
Well, if I would be happy if we
Oakland.
beat them, then they have to spend 2 nights in Alcatraz. If we can put that together.
There you go.
2 nights
good.
on the rock.
Very cool. Jail.
On the rock.
I do think it would be great if we were to win, the Blazers that is. If the team down there, the San Francisco/Oakland news team, would have to stand up and recite some kind of like loving poem about an ode to
Ode to
Portland
the
while
Blazers
wearing
to
some sort of
Portland.
Blazers gear.
Yeah,
We
I like
should.
it.
That would be embarrassing for them, I would think.
And keep in mind, we have one of their favorite sons. So I was in Oakland, is where actually our friends live, over spring break. Damian Lillard, which many of you realize, he grew up in Oakland. he is a big commercial icon in Oakland. I'm talking his big pictures promoting, endorsing products all over the BART, their subway system. You really see Damien's picture in Oakland
Isn't that fun?
all
That's
over.
cool.
So I would say those people are very aware that Mr. Lillard is coming to town.
They are going to be shorthanded tonight. I mean, not to get too deep in the basketball woods, but there will be no Kevin Durant tonight. And then Orlando Sanchez says maybe game
game
2.
two.
So, this is not the, I don't think it's the Warriors team from last
don't
year
think
or a
so.
couple of years ago.
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like this is a beatable, still a great team.
I agree.
We beat him
But still a
twice this
beatable bunch.
year.
Yeah.
You know what I say about that, though? We didn't beat Houston at all. So we thought like that was,
Right.
but that
Yeah,
didn't
it
seem
means
to matter.
nothing.
It
'Cause
means nothing at this point.
we didn't think we would get past them. So
We have a chance.
All right, we're going to have to issue a formal challenge to Mr. Aki then.
Yeah, I'd like to think of
Keep it
something.
on.
I'd like to give it
Yeah,
a little
let's
more
give it
thought.
some thought.
Be creative.
Yeah.
But we got to issue it to him today, and then we'll get back
And
tomorrow.
How
and
about
people know what
if
it
we
is.
win, Reggie has to come back to work here? Wouldn't we all love to see Reggie back at KGW? Yes.
Yes.
a good
That'd be a
wager.
pretty strong bet, actually.
We
That
need,
would be a
we need
pretty
an
strong
overnight
bet.
producer, Reggie. They'll start at 11 o'clock at night, and the shift ends at 7 in the
Yeah.
morning. That's the job for you, Mr. Aki.
Real promotion. All right, that does it for us. We'll see you guys
Bye, guys.
tomorrow. Have a great day.